Hello everyone, welcome back to another Vacacy editing tutorial. Today I'm going to be working in Premiere Pro, doing some editing and condensing on a music track, though the process I'm using in this tutorial and the methods can be used in other applications as well. I'm just doing it specifically in Premiere Pro because that's the software that I use for video editing. So this track that I've got, I license all my music, or most of my music, off of musicbed.com. It's a great place that I found to get great quality music at affordable rates that I know directly goes to musicians and artists that are on there and helps them make a living. I have several friends that make their living from licensed music off of there, so definitely go check them out. For the sake of time on today's tutorial video, I'm not going to play all the way through this music track, so if you'd like to hear it in its entirety, please check the description below my video, and the link will be there where you can go listen to it on musicbed.com. So first thing I'm going to do is, so I'm taking this track, it's just over 4 minutes long, and I'm going to be condensing it down to right around 30 seconds. And there's a few things that I want coming into this. I want a nice introduction that kind of like helps open the piece up. I need it to pretty relatively quickly get into moving and getting through the piece. So that by the time it hits about the 20 or 25 second mark, I can go ahead and start having the outro kind of taking us out of the piece, so to speak. So first thing I'm going to do is listen through to the intro a few times to try to get an idea of how I can condense that, because even the intro in and of itself is probably going to be at least 15 or 20 seconds in and of itself, and that's too long. I need my intro for this to be like 5 seconds. So you're already at 12 seconds right here. So 15, 16 seconds before we're actually into the meat of the piece. And so if we do that, I mean, already should be at the outro, right? So let's see what we can do to condense this. Bless you, puppy. I hear my dog sneezing in the background there. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull the whole track down into my sequence. First thing, go ahead and listen to this again. We'll start making some chops. Now, one thing you will notice is the audio does sound a little bit different here because I've got some effects on it for being mixed with the voiceover already that it'll be with, so it's going to sound a little different. All right, so let's start condensing this a little bit. So kind of here's what's going through my mind right now is that from this like first swell up here, all of that right there can be condensed into like 2 or 3 seconds. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm going to be doing a lot of cuts and just cross dissolves. So I'm going to start around here. Let's go to about here. Delete this section out. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do Option Delete. So it just bumps the other clip all the way up. Key command for cross dissolves on here. And one thing that I like to do, I like 3 frame length transitions by default. Just they're good to like help break up the kind of hide that clip kind of at the beginning and end of clip. Sometimes that pop that you get, it just kind of softens the edge of it up a little bit. And even in transitions with like interviews and stuff, which I'll have another video at some point, so keep an eye out for that as far as how to edit audio and interviews, and I'll go a little bit more over the whole like 3 frame transition in that one. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to extend this out because I want this one here to be more than 3 seconds. And so it's going to be centered up, but I kind of want to slide it down this way. And so what that's going to do is it's going to gradually here start introducing this clip a little bit more beforehand. So let's see here. See how this sounds. It's a little bit aggressive, so I knew I made a pretty aggressive cut there. Let's see, I'm going to start from the beginning here. So I need a little bit more of that swell up. So I'm going to take a little section out of here. And see how this sounds. So it's kind of there, but you see how it kind of like, it was a very abrupt transition. So I'm going to lengthen this out some more. A lot smoother. So then from there, about at that point, is when I want these, right about there is when I want this beginning part to come in. Do the same thing. See how that sounds. Like that. I'm actually going to shorten this up a little bit here and pull this back to introduce that a little sooner. Let's see how this does. That's pretty solid. And at that point, we are at like 6 seconds. So we're at 46 seconds here. It's about 5 seconds to get into there. I kind of want to get there quicker though, so I think I'm actually going to shorten this up to where it's about here. That's where I want it to hit right there. Probably smooth this out a little bit more. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so now I know there's a part where this song drops down, the music drops down a little bit more. And so I want to go ahead and pick one of those parts out. And kind of drop it in a little bit sooner. So basically this little section here, want to kind of shorten it a little. Probably about right there is when it'll drop down, and it'll be drop down for a second, then I'll kind of come back up, and I'll go back out, I think. So let's find the lower section. That right there, that's what I want. Pull that out. See how this sounds. It's a little glitchy. What I'll kind of do sometimes is see right here the wave hits in from this clip. If I use a slip tool, I can see how well my hits are lining up, and that's lining up really well. So it's not not smooth because it's not on beat. It's just I need to feather this out a little bit more, probably. There we go. And then right there is probably where I'll come back up. And I'll probably just go ahead and find something more towards the end because it'll take us to that outro pretty well, probably. Sometimes my cuts aren't always right, but I usually get close. But I feel like that's right. I feel like I was right. Let's try this again. Let's see how this does. Maybe I just need to feather it out some more. Maybe it's just too abrupt. Nah, I don't like that. So what I need is I need something that's like one of the hits that takes me out of this down section, I think. So let's go here. If you notice the waveforms down here, see how it's kind of like more up here, and then here it's a little more droppy, like a little more uneven, and then it kind of, they're all high and even out again. That's kind of where those little sections are, and so I can already kind of see if I look here that this is where it probably goes out of this section at, so that's what I'm going to jump to. Yeah, that's the section that I want right there. So I'm actually going to cut a little bit more. So there's the hit right here. That's where I want I'm going to cut right where the hit is, but I'm going to want some of this stuff back here. Kind of lead into it. Because it has some little transitional sounds in there. But what I'm going to do is since I already know where I want my hit right here to be, I'm going to do this, and then what I'll do is I'll just move where the hit is using this tool like that. So have my transition on here like this, and that actually will give me some of that there probably. Let's see how that sounds. So I'm a little off on the beat, which means I just need to slip it one way or the other. I'm going to go a little closer first and see small tweaks. So that was the wrong direction. Getting close. Let's try one more frame. See, that might be too far. I think I liked the other way better. Okay, so it's still kind of lining up weird. I'm going to shorten this down a little bit. I don't think this one needs quite as much to be smooth. See, that sounds good like that to me. And then that's about where it needs to end right there. So then let me go take this out, and then we're going to go find the end piece. Let's listen to what we've got so far. Yep, that's sounding pretty good. And honestly, so this is a 30-second window. I don't have much time for the outro, so what I may end up doing is I may actually end up cutting one of these rounds, because I've got 2 rounds that plays here. I may cut one of those out and shift these 2 pieces down to leave more space for an outro. But let's see what we've got for the outro here. So right there is probably it. At least for the last, like, hit. So see how the hits there, you hear that double hit just a little bit? It's because it's going boom, boom, hitting from this clip and this clip. You can see right there where that wave jots up. It's like down here, that's the hit, and this is the hit here. And so, see, it's kind of, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to bump it over 1, and that should be enough to line it up. Yeah, there we go. And then all of this stuff can be condensed. I can basically go probably from here to here. I may need to grab a middle section to help smooth out the transition, but I don't think so. Let's see here. And I am going to go ahead, I think, and cut out one of these. Well, wait. Let's wait and see what we can do with this outro first. See if that's too much. I'm gonna fan this way out. Pretty abrupt. So what I can do is I'm probably, because it's kind of working, but it needs to be abrupt like that, but just in a smoother way. That makes sense. So I'm just going to tweak with this a little bit. Let's see here. So I think I'm gonna do a double length outro. So I'm actually gonna undo all of this and go back, and I am going to take a middle section as well. And I've gotten where I'm pretty good at being able to pause it right on the beat that I want and cut it right there pretty accurately the first time, but it hasn't always been that way. So just kind of practice with it and you'll get better over time with it. Just kind of feel the beat of the music. It's what I do. I count in my head on the beats, so I have an idea of being able to stop it kind of like right on the beat. Basically, the idea is that I'm just kind of taking all of these sections and condensing them down and then crossfading them smoothly so they kind of transition to through each other well. That's all right. It's that last one that's kind of weird. This one right here. I think that's good. So let's see, total runtime on that is 34 seconds. And for me, that is close enough to the 30-second window for me to call it good. And that's the clip that I'm going to use for the music for this little video I'm making. Let's listen to it all the way through just once. That's it for this tutorial. Thanks so much for checking it out. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, please leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything else you want to learn, and give it a thumbs up, a like, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe. Kind of helps me keep in contact with people that find my videos helpful, and helps me know what kind of stuff to make in the future to help you out. Anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.